Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 5, Chapter 8, the character of Bharat Maharaj. Text number 22. Prabhupada said if no one comes to class, you can speak to the walls. So the walls are listening, and those on radio land. So text 22, prose verse. I'll just read the verse in translation. Asadita ha vishi parishi duste mayo palabda do vita sampadi upa rata rasa Shri Kumar vad avahita karna kalpa aste. Translation. When I place the sacrificial ingredients on the kusa grass, the deer, when playing, would touch the grass with its teeth and thus pollute it. When I chastise the deer by pushing it away, it would immediately become fearful and sit down motionless, exactly like the son of a saintly person. Thus it would stop its play. Purport. Bharat Maharaj was constantly thinking of the activities of the deer, forgetting that such meditation and diversion of attention was killing his progress in spiritual advancement. Text 23. After speaking like a madman in this way, Maharaj Bharat got up and went outside. Seeing the footprints of the deer on the ground, he praised the footprints out of love, saying, "O unfortunate Bharat, your austerity and penances are very insignificant compared to the penance and austerities undergone by this earth planet. Due to the earth's severe penance, the footprints of this deer, which are small, beautiful, most auspicious and soft, are imprinted on the surface of this fortunate planet. This series of footprints show a person like me, who am bereaved due to a loss of the deer, how the animal has passed through the forest, how I can regain my lost wealth. By these footprints, this land has become a proper place for Brahmanas who desire heavenly planets or liberation to execute sacrifices to the demigods." Purport. It is said that when a person becomes overly involved in loving affairs, he forgets himself as well as others, and he forgets how to act, how to speak. It is said that once a man's son was blind since birth. The father, out of staunch affection for the child, named him Padma Lochan, or lotus-eyed. This is the situation arising from blind love. Bharat Maharaj gradually fell into this condition due to his material love for the deer. It is said in the Smriti Shastra, Yasmin they say Mriga Krishnas Tasmin Dharmam Hibodata. That tract of land wherein the footprints of a black deer can be seen is to be understood a suitable place to execute religious rituals. Text 24. Bharat Maharaj continued to speak like a madman, seeing above his head the black marks on the rising moon, which could resemble the deer. He said, Can it be that the moon, who is so kind to an unhappy man, might also be kind upon my deer, knowing that it is strayed from home and has become motherless? This moon has given the deer shelter near itself, just to protect it from the fearful attack of a lion. Text 24, no purport. 25. After receiving this moonshine, Maharaj Bharat continued speaking like a crazy person. He said, the deer's son was so submissive and dear to me that due to its separation, I am feeling separation from my own son. Due to burning fever of this separation, I am suffering as if inflamed by a forest fire. My heart, which is like the lily of the land, is now burning. Seeing me so distressed, the moon is certainly splashing its shining nectar upon me, just as a friend throws water on another friend who has a high fever. In this way, the moon is bringing me happiness. Purport. According to Ayurvedic treatment, it said if one has a high fever, someone should splash water on him after gargling this water. In this way, the fever subsides. Although Bharat Maharaj is very aggrieved due to the separation of his so-called son, the deer, he thought that the moon was splashing gargled water on him from his mouth, and this water would subdue his high fever, which is raging due to separation from the deer. So instead of someone gets a high fever, instead of going to the doctor, you can ask a friend to gargle some water and splash it on your head. Prabhupada says this is the cure for a fever. He also mentions this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. 2 times he says this. If one has a high fever, someone should splash water on him with water after gargling this water. In this way, the fever subsides. So you might think this is an offensive thing to do, but still, it may work. You can try it and see if it works. I tried it once, it seemed to work. Text number 26 is the text we'll talk about, the purport. It has a purport that's summing up the real understanding of this story. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, in this way Bharat Maharaj was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable desire which was manifest in the form of the deer. Due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity, and worship of the Supreme Personality Godhead. If it was not due to his past fruitive activities, how could he have been attracted to the deer after giving up the association with his son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life? How could he show such uncontrollable affection for a deer? This was definitely due to his past karma. The king was so engrossed in petting and maintaining the deer that he fell down from his spiritual activities. In due course of time, insurmountable death, which is compared to a venomous snake that enters the hole created by a mouse, situated itself for him. And Srila Prabhupada says, the mouse makes a hole to live in, and the snake goes there, eats the mouse, and lives comfortably in the hole. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As will be seen in later verses, Bharat Maharaj at the time of death will be forced to accept the body of a deer due to his attraction for the deer. In this regard, a question may be raised: how can a devotee be affected by his past misconduct and vicious activities? In Brahma Samhita 5.54 it says, Karmani nidanti kintu cha bhakti bhajan. Those engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajan, result of past deeds are indemnified. According to this, Bharat Maharaj could not be punished for his past misdeeds. Conclusion must be that Maharaj Bharat purposely became over-addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. To immediately rectify this mistake, for a short time, he was awarded the body of a deer. This is just to increase his desire for mature devotional service. Although Bharat Maharaj was awarded the body of an animal, he did not forget what had previously happened due to his purposeful mistake. He was very anxious to get out of the body of a deer. He did not forget. He was very anxious to get out of the body of his deer body, and this indicates that his affection for devotional service was intensified, so much so that he was quickly to attain perfection in a Brahmana body in the next life. It is with this conviction that we declare in our Back to Godhead magazine, devotees like the Goswamis living in Vrindavan who purposely commit sinful activities are born in the bodies of dogs, monkeys, and tortoises in that holy land. Thus they take on lower life forms for a short while, and after they give up these animal bodies, they're again promoted to the spiritual world. Such punishment is only for a short period, and it's not due to past karma. It may appear to be due to past karma, but is offered to rectify the devotee and bring him to pure devotional service. Om Argyanatam Dasya Jananjana Slakaya Saksurimitam Jena Tasmei Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Danti Swabhatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Parakamalam Shingu Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raganatam Tam Sanjivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Vrijana Saita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishavam Ham Hitam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Japade Gopisha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Nosute Tatra Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishware Vishwanumami Priyamani Hari Priye Vanchakopya Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evicha Patitam Pavneyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is a very nice story. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Nibhikravana shosti priyavayona vijite sapam api yasya dharmasya jayate mahobhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So, the question may be raised, how it is that Bharat Maharaj had to become a deer. It says in that sloka, the Bhikkhunana Shosti, that the one is saved from the most dangerous type of fear, which is to fall back into animal species of life. As we know, there are 8,400,000 species of life, which covered all of the 14 worlds, 7 upper planetary systems, and 7 lower planetary systems. Unlike the modern scientists who claim that there's only life on this planet, Earth, and there's no life anywhere else. But we don't accept their conclusion that this is simply speculation. The Vedic conclusion is the proper conclusion given by Srila Vyasadeva, the literary incarnation of the Lord. And when Lord Chaitanya appeared, all the residents, it says all the residents of all the 14 planetary systems came to visit him in the disguise as human beings. So it's not that there is no life on any other planets, but there's life everywhere, but it's just that there are different forms of life. But they're included in 8,400,000 species. There's 900,000 species in the water. There's 2 million trees and plants, 1 million insects, 1,100,000 birds, 3 million beasts, and 400,000 humans. So to get a human form of life, to come to the human form of life is very rare and very precious. And one should not misuse his human form of life, simply living like an animal, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Srila Prabhupada said that he came to the West to create a society of first-class men. So he was asked, what is a first-class man? It's someone who understands that he's not this body, the spirit soul, and following the 4 regulated principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. This is a first-class man. And people who have taken up to Krishna consciousness, even it was apparent that even their material bodies had become changed, and then people would inquire from us when we went on Harinam Sankirtan in the streets in America, are you American boys and girls? They were surprised to see the American boys and girls had become so bright and clean. So this is the process of Krishna consciousness. It begins with faith. When you have a little faith, then you associate with devotees, then you associate for some time, follow the principles, chanting 16 rounds, then you take initiation from the spiritual master, then you come to the level of anartha nivritti, which means you're free from all unwanted contamination. And at time of initiation, the past karma is indemnified, or means you're protected against. Although the fan may be switched off, it continues to move, so the devotee may suffer here and there, but it's not from his present karma, from his past karma. But there are 2 kinds of karma. One is auspicious, one inauspicious. One who's suffering from inauspicious karma as due to past life sinful activities. He has to suffer for that. But in the case of Bharat Maharaj, his apparent karma, or Prarabdha karma, was auspicious karma, which was arranged by the will of the Lord to increase his devotional service. So, for a devotee, if something happens to a devotee, he sees it as Krishna's mercy and makes to increase his bhakti. Otherwise, it's not possible. Bharat Maharaj could not have fallen down and become a victim to a deer. It says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he gave up his kingdom. He ruled the world for 10 million years. He gave up his kingdom to his 5 sons, and just like someone who goes to the field to answer the call of nature, after passing one immediately goes away. So he gave up all his material attachments. So it was not possible for him to become victimized by the Mahamaya, or the influence of Maya. So he purposely acted to fulfill, because it was the will of the Lord. The deer was sent to him to make him become attached to the deer. So this is the understanding of this chapter. You see also in the story of Gajendra the elephant. Gajendra was King Indradumna, and he was meditating in the forest, and the sage came by. He didn't offer respect to the sage, Agastya Muni. So the sage cursed him to take the body of a dull, dumb animal. So he became an elephant. So King Indradumna became an elephant, and then when he went to bathe in the river, a crocodile caught hold of his leg, and he had a fight with this crocodile for thousands of years. But since the crocodile lives in the water, he was getting his food. But the King Indradumna, as an elephant, couldn't get any food, and no one could help him. So in that elephant body, he remembered his past devotion. He remembered it, and therefore, within his mind, he was able to pray to the Supreme Lord for help to get him free from that situation. Jai Shri Shri Gaura Nitai, Krishna Balaram Radhesham. So the Lord came there and pulled him out of the water along with the crocodile, and he got his spiritual body and went back to Godhead. And the crocodile was also King Huhu, who was bathing in the water with some damsels, pulled the leg of one rishi, and he was cursed to become a crocodile. So he also got benefited. So these kind of curses and becoming animal bodies for devotee, they still remain, they are able to maintain their consciousness, like the sons of Kuvera. 2 sons of Kuvera were sporting in the water in the heavenly planets with heavenly damsels, and Narada Muni came by. So being intoxicated, the women were not so intoxicated. They were a little conscious. They immediately covered themselves. But the sons of Kuvera were so intoxicated and so proud that even in front of Narada Muni, they didn't cover themselves. So as a civilized human being must always cover the lower half of his body. So Narada Muni felt it was fit to curse them, to punish them for their offense. And at the same time, because they were the sons of Kuvera, he also made it so it was also turned out to be a benediction. So they had to stand as trees, Arjun trees, had to stand as trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj for 100 years with full remembrance of their past sinful activities or their past life. Then Krishna, in his Damodar Lila, he pulled down those 2 trees and liberated those 2 souls who regained their demigod bodies and became pure devotees. So this is the same case with Bharat Maharaj. Although he became attached to the deer and had to take the body of a deer, this was only to intensify his devotional service. It was not due to his past karma, his past prarabdha karma from previous life. This was auspicious karma given by the Lord to intensify his devotional service, because he had already attained the state of rati or bhava. When one is on the stage of bhava, then there's no chance of falling down again to material consciousness, or very little. Actually, for a pure devotee, even if a pure devotee wants to think of something material, Yoga Maya doesn't allow it. And the pure devotee, he's always engaged in hearing and chanting and remembering name, form, pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So Bharat Maharaj was on this very elevated platform, and he was exhibiting ecstatic symptoms. The ecstatic symptoms of crying, shivering, hair standing on the body. This is not to be imitated. Somebody actually on that level can exhibit these symptoms. We say in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, how the ecstatic symptoms, Mahaprabhu himself exhibited so many ecstatic symptoms, and his devotees also exhibited ecstatic symptoms, but they were not pretenders. They were not making a show. So this this was the will of the Lord, and it was an semblance of false identity. Or in other words, it appeared to be that he was attached to the deer, but it was only a semblance. And he rectified his mistake by taking a deer body. And in that deer body, he repented, and he was very careful not to again come in contact with any material association. And after that deer body, he attained the body of a Brahmana, Tadbharat, and attained perfection. So everything in this story is summarized that it has increased this attachment to the deer, falling down, becoming a deer, was increased his longing for bhakti, for devotional service. Even Krishna, sometimes Krishna leaves the gopis, leaves Radharani, just to increase their attachment for him. So devotees should know that we're still on the level of Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means we have to follow the rules and regulations. Prabhupada warned his disciples over and over again in letters and so many times that the devotees should strictly follow the 4 regulated principles: no meat, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and chant at least 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if we do that sincerely, with great care and attention, and we have to try to chant without committing offenses. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur says our chanting is, if you're not experiencing ecstatic symptoms, it's only a semblance of the holy name. It's like the alphabet, like a bird can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. But there's no bhakti there. It doesn't get any benefit. Well, we have to chant with love and devotion, try to avoid offenses in order to get the desired result. And we have to try to come to the level of a spontaneous devotional service, which means when one is free from all anarthas, then he can understand, it's revealed to him what his swarup is, how he can follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan, the loving devotees of the Lord, and attain pure devotional service. So this is our goal. Our goal in life is to try to attain pure devotional service and not have to take birth again in this material world. So Krishna tells Arjuna, you declared boldly that my devotees never vanquished. And he said that Name Bhakta Pyachati. First he told Arjuna, first he said that even if a devotee commits the most abominable activity, he's still considered saintly because of his constant engagement in devotional service. And he says, my devotees never perish. So Krishna will protect the devotee even if he has an accidental fall down or acts by accident does something wrong. Krishna will protect that devotee if he's sincere and repents for his activities and does not continue with the same activities. So in the same way, Krishna protected Bharat Maharaj even though he had took the body of a deer and apparently fell down from his spiritual meditation. It was all just to give him a chance to further his devotional service. In the same way, King Chitraketu was flying in his airplane and he saw Lord Shiva sitting in an assembly of sages with his wife Parvati sitting on his lap. So Chitraketu, he, out of amazement, he spoke some words that this is amazing, that Lord Shiva, the upholder of religious principles and the best of all Vaishnavas, is sitting in an assembly of sages with his wife on his lap. But Mother Parvati, she did not appreciate this statement. She thought he was speaking offensively, so she cursed him to become a demon. So he became a demon. Chitraketu. He became a demon, but in that demon body, he was given the facility to facilitate his going back to Godhead faster. So as a devotee, even though he was cursed by Mother Parvati, he accepted it as the will of Providence, didn't try to counteract the curse. And he accepted the body of Vritrashura, demon, and he was killed by Indra, and then he went back to Godhead. So things happen, these things happen to devotees. Some devotees get heart attacks, some devotees have strokes. It is not, they can take it, they can see it as the will of the Lord to rectify them so they can become free from all their anarthas and desire for material enjoyments, and after this life go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. And now some service to attend to. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.